What is going on, people? We got a video here on the LA protests slash some of the LA riots. Is it riots? I'm not sure. We're gonna go into it. Not only that, I got some videos of some people that's they're deporting themselves before they've been tackled or confronted by ICE. Let's get into the video. Let's see. Hopefully, there's a good video for y'all. And I myself, this is my first time watching some of these videos, and let's see how we stands on this. But first video up, check it out of LA.
Another explosive night in Southern California as protests continue over immigration raids. Police and crowds facing off in Los Angeles and Orange County. This morning, law enforcement is gearing up for a fifth day of unrest. Here's a look at the latest developments. President Trump is mobilizing an additional 2,000 National Guard members to help protect federal buildings in LA. Now, that doubles his initial deployment. Also, 700 U.S. Marines are headed to L.A. The Marines are from an infantry battalion based in 29 Palms. The LAPD says more than 70 people were arrested over the weekend and 5 police officers were hurt. The Trump
All right, let's go back to that again and that chart right there. What the heck? Trump is mobilizing another 2,000 National Guards, 700 Marine deployed to Los Angeles, 70 people arrested, which is a lot. It's a lot. 5 LAPD injured. You know what I got to say about this, and we're going to continue the video. It's a shame to see any form of the military being used against the people. You know, that's one of the stands I have on this. Secondly, 70 people arrested, which again, a lot. I just hate to see the police officers injured because a lot of them they have to go out there. Same thing goes for the troop. They're forced to go out there because they themselves could face, prosecution. I saw a police chief. I saw a video where a police chief said his mother came here illegally. He himself was then given the opportunity to get to where he is right now. So, one that's in that world and basically torn between two things, Well, let's continue watching.
others were hurt. The Trump administration's decision to put more boots on the ground is being met by strong criticism from LA leaders.
Mario Ramirez kicking off our team coverage of the protest, joining us live from the Federal Detention Center in downtown. Mario.
Robert, good morning. As local law enforcement is preparing for another day of demonstrations, we can tell you that the National Guard is stationed here around federal buildings. We're just outside the detention center. You can see them there. This federal building really became a focal point for protesters after it emerged that ICE detainees were being held here. And now hundreds of Marines are expected to join the National Guard under Trump's orders as tensions continue escalating. Take a look. About 700 U.S. Marines from the 2nd Battalion, 7th Marine Regiment out of 29 Palms received weekend orders and are on the way, expected to arrive this morning. And although they're trained for close combat, officials say these Marines won't be on the front lines. Instead, they'll be focused on crowd control and de-escalation. Those are skills that they've been trained in specifically for this mission. That, according to U.S. Northern Command, which confirmed that those Marines will support the more than 2,000 National Guard troops already activated across the area. And late yesterday, the Pentagon said it's mobilizing an additional 2,000 National Guard troops under President Trump's order. And that now pushes the number of military personnel to more than 4,000, with growing opposition from Governor Newsom and Mayor Karen Bass. The governor calling the deployment unnecessary, saying it'll only inflame tensions. Now, if we come back out here to our live shot, we've been seeing these National Guard troops checking IDs for employees entering the building. The president's move to activate these National Guard troops marks the first time the federal government has done so without a governor's consent since the 60s. Again, they won't be on the front lines with local law enforcement like the LAPD taking people into custody like we've seen. We're not exactly sure what the presence will look like, but again, hundreds are expected to arrive here in Los Angeles this morning. For now, live downtown, I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
I'll take a pause there. You can see those vehicles, those Humvees, they're there. It looks It looks horrible, man. I just hope this thing does not escalate into a full blown war. Again, every time I see these things happen, it reminds me of that movie I saw last summer. I think it's called Civil War, where they were trying to take out, and this is how it started, by the way. Texas and California wanted to annex from the United States, and basically they're the two of the bigger states, and they established their own government within the United States. Well, it wasn't the United States anymore because they annexed themselves. Then after Civil War broke out, again, watch that movie. It's called Civil War. Man, this type of stuff, it scares me. It scares me because United States. You think of the United States, you think of what you think of. For me, I think of freedom. I think of having the opportunity to express myself. I can be somewhat whatever I want to be in life. There's several things I can add on there, but it just sucks to see this type of stuff happening. By the way, the mayor of California said that she is gonna make sure people that's in LA are gonna be covered, whether you're a citizen or whether you were here and you're illegally here, or better yet, you're here as a migrant worker. Because there's a lot of people that's here, they're working, they've been here for years, working, trying to, have a better life. That's not mean to say here or there whether they should stay or not. This video is really to show what's going on. But let's check another video out, which I just actually spoke about. And this is about the police chief, I think. I could be wrong on this, but let's check it out. This one here it's a little different because it's just shocked to see like a police officer.
Must be seeing her already, and they're still not letting her. Yeah. They're not letting us not come. So I'm here to tell you, we will march as a department with everybody in this community. I will march until I can't stand no more. But I will not, like Truth said, I will not allow anyone to tear down this city, because this is our city. And don't pay close attention. There's these little white guys with their skateboards are the ones that are starting all the shit everywhere. Knowing full well that black people and brown people are angry, and knowing that they will start. If they start it, we will follow. Don't follow that bullshit. That's the devil's work. They want to tear our communities down because they know communities of color need the police more than anybody. My mama.
Okay, I'll pause it there for a second. So, I don't know if this guy is a planted figure there, because sometimes they do that. They'll put people there just to because they don't want riots to go on. They'll plant people in there and to make sure that it's guided a certain way. But he's filled with a lot of emotions there. Now the whole white guys with skateboard thing, I don't know if that's true or not. Hey, I'm not over there right now. I'm not in LA. But people standing together to fight for, equality and to make sure that, people are not coming in and pulling people out of their homes and stuff. I'm all for it, man. This is very touching, and it's hard to see things like this and not get choked up and emotional, But if you're not in these spaces or you're not these people, you'll never understand. But anyway, I got another video for y'all. This is one I saved.
Come with me to self-deport my mom after being in this country for 36 years. My stepdad is staying behind and he'll join her in a couple of months. They've been together for 25 years. We're driving from LA down to TJ to drop her off at the airport, and she'll be flying to Mexico City. After driving an hour and 30 minutes, my sister realized she forgot her passports at home. This was her heartbroken that she wasn't going to be able to drop off my mom all the way in Mexico. So she drove back home to meet my stepdad halfway, hoping that she will make it back on time before my mom's flight. The good thing is that we gave each other more than enough time to have brunch in TJ while we waited for her. We got to the airport with 3 hours to spare. We checked in her bags and we just waited in the lounge. This is the good thing about Mexican parents trying to check in so early, because now we have all this time to spare. Look at Miss Diva getting ready. And my sister made it with 45 minutes to spare. You made it! My mom is leaving behind 3 grown-ass kids and 3 grandchildren. We are doing this all while some of the biggest ICE raids are going on back home. With my mom's complicated legal status, she decided to do this in her own terms. She has no criminal record, a hardworking taxpayer who has been working 12-hour shifts since she was 15, 6 days out of the week. She never asked for a handout. She didn't get food stamps. She didn't get welfare. She didn't even ask for child support when my dad wasn't in the picture. She asked me to not cry, to let her go in peace, to take care of myself and not to trust all these new people I'm meeting. And I told her I'm protected, to not worry about me, and that I'm gonna go see her very soon. As the eldest sister, I stayed strong. I wanted to make sure that she knew that everything was gonna be okay. But this was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. The little one, on the other hand, she was struggling. Even though we're all sad to see her go, my mom hasn't seen her mom in 22 years. She's 51 and she's going back home to Guerrero, Mexico to retire. After so many years of being here, she forgot that that was the original plan. I hate that all of this had to happen for her to make this decision, but I have a good feeling that this is going to be good for her. This was her finally meeting with my grandma after driving 5 hours from Mexico City to her town. If you have your parents close to you, don't forget to hug them today. And for everybody that voted for this, fuck you. Come with me to self-deport.
Okay. That last part was pretty hilarious. You know, it's fun. I have no political stance. Matter of fact, I don't disclose my political stance online because a lot of times you end up fighting more about where you stand versus somebody that can understand. You know what I mean? I try not to get on here to fight with people. People have their reasons why they voted. I know a lot of Latinos that voted for this, and they themselves are kind of scared. A lot of them are scared to admit that they voted for the other side. And like when Biden was in there too, I hated some of the things he was doing as well. You know what I mean? But this is I mean, it's not a shock to me. I saw this coming from a mile away. But it's just amazing to see that somebody like this, you know, this woman is self-deporting herself back to Mexico. It's a woman that came here. She paid taxes. She worked hours, I think she said 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Even when she had kids with the man she had kids with, she never asked for any handouts. She never asked for money from him, no child support. She never asked for the government to step in, which there's programs to help women in this country when it comes to kids rearing if they're doing it by themselves. It hurts me because I like strong people. To see somebody this strong being taken away from us. Think about it. I want y'all to think about it. People like this, like her mother, are the people that help us grow. You know what I mean? Like, why would you want that type of gene to be put into the gene pool to help us develop this country? You know what I'm saying? And I think I got another video here of somebody saying that he's one of those people that voted, and it's a shame of what happened. There's another one here. This couple I got. Blah, 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 boom, 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 boom. Let me see. This is another. This one I actually just saved.
Get the fuck out of here! Go back to Mexico! Go back to Mexico!
And these are two different set of clashes, two different set of people clashing, two different groups of people clashing. And they're from either side. You have people holding up the Mexican flag, people holding up the Trump flag. You know, this type of stuff solves nothing. It really solves nothing. All you get with that is just more hate. And these people that's out there trying to agitate other people when they're down. You gotta think about it, man. I tell black folks all the time, yeah, y'all don't be happy about this. Now, I'm saying all black people are happy about this, or any black people are happy about it, but don't be happy about this because they've came for us. The government, that is, came for us many times. I tell Latinos don't be happy about seeing other people go. For the ones that's here, because I've heard ones that's here that's legally here say, yeah, I'm happy for them to take these people out. I'm like, yeah, they coming for you next too. I tell white folks don't be happy about that because guess what? They'll probably come for you next. At the end of the day, you know what happens? They'll come get whatever they're told to get, and I think the agenda here is they're trying to make sure that they have those labor camps filled with people. I see a pattern going that I've seen in the past, and I think that most likely, we have a situation here where we have to take control and be careful who we back. But let's continue that first video we had. I have the ice cream truck in the back in my background. I'm sorry. Let's go.
All right, Mario, thank you. California suing the Trump administration over the deployment of the National Guard troops to L.A. Trump ordered 2,000 National Guard troops to Los Angeles for 60 days under federal law. The first troops arrived on Sunday. Governor Newsom says activating the National Guard without consulting him is illegal and immoral, calling it an inflammatory escalation. Attorney General Rob Bonta says local law enforcement had the protests under control.
Trump and Hegseth jumped from 0 to 60, bypassing law enforcement expertise and evaluation. They threw caution to the wind and sidelined strategy in an unnecessary and inflammatory escalation that only further spurred unrest.
The lawsuit accuses the president of exceeding his authority and asks the court to declare his actions as unlawful. Meantime, numerous downtown LA stores have been vandalized and looted.
Gigi Graciette is standing by to show us the damage done. Gigi.
And that's right. We're live this morning on 8th and Broadway here in downtown Los Angeles, where multiple businesses were hit. Across the street, the Apple store, and here, the Adidas store. Take a look. They broke out the window, the glass doors, and outside you can see boxes and you can see single shoes because somebody stole apparently only one shoe. Another shoe is over there, $140 pair of sneakers, and that rock presumably used to break out both glass doors of the Adidas store. Take a look at some video when this happened. The looting started last night at about 11 o'clock in the morning and went on almost till 3 a.m. today as dozens and dozens of people hit stores, especially on Broadway and Hill. Now take a look. Jewelry stores on Hill were also hit. At one point, there were reports of up to 100 looters at a jewelry store. It was one after another after another. At one jewelry store, somebody actually set a fire, LA City Fire responding to that. And then the Apple store here on 8th and Broadway also hit. There's a blood trail on the inside glass. So apparently someone who shattered one of those windows also got injured. The store just vandalized. There's graffiti all over the windows on the inside of the store and boxes absolutely everywhere. Now, we did see some people being taken into custody, and we expect to get some numbers from LAPD after. And then there's the Shoe Palace. And keep in mind, these are not all the businesses that were looted. There were many others. These are just some of them. And if the business wasn't looted or broken into, it was vandalized. There is graffiti absolutely everywhere.
This takes me back to when the George Floyd protesters were going out, and there were a lot of people waiting for the opportunity to vandalize people's businesses. I myself, who was working out there, I remember there's a store that I worked in. I worked with a small business that ran like delivery stuff out of like Whole Foods. At the time, I think I was like a dispatcher and dispatching about maybe, I'll say, a team of 20 people. I supervised them. I remember one day I came in and the front door which was glass, was broken. Like the whole thing was shattered, and the glass door broken. The side of the whole store is just glass. They broke it all. They broke it all out. And I remember they showed some videos of folks. There's the people that's protesting in the day, but at night you'll get the people that vandalize stuff and the rioters and all this stuff. Man, the thing is, some of these people are not there for the cause. They're there for the opportunity, and the opportunity is to get themselves either merchandise or, again, a lot of times they plant people in the mix of the people that's trying to do the right things. So we got to be smart about this. These are most likely not the damn people. I mean, think about it. If you're there as someone that's trying to prevent the cops from coming, you don't want to do things for the cops to come and get you. Because if you get arrested, and if you are illegally here and you get arrested, you're going to be taken away even faster. So most likely, these are not the people that you think it is, but they're gonna paint it that way, and this is one of those things to paint that picture, just like what the police officer was speaking about in the video I showed you earlier. Whether it be the people in those skateboards, I don't know if that's true or not. Somebody's vandalizing stuff over here, right? But let's continue the video.
Bringing it back here live again, the Adidas store, one of many that were hit. No dollar amount on what was taken because all the managers, employees, they still have to come in now and do an inventory of their losses. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
All right, Gigi, thank you. We'll take you now here to a day-long protest in Santa Ana over immigration raids in the OC. This ended shortly before midnight. Police tell us they declared an unlawful assembly around 8:30 last night. They say people were throwing fireworks and other objects at local and federal authorities. Police say they responded with tear gas and other crowd control weapons. The demonstration started near the Santa Ana Federal Building, where several people were arrested. The protests were triggered by a number of ICE raids carried out in Santa Ana yesterday, including an ICE raid at a Home Depot. And later today, Orange County elected leaders and the OC Rapid Response Network will gather to condemn the ICE raids. Organizers say they want to ensure the OC immigrant community feels supported. OC Supervisor Vicente Sarmiento is expected to speak out against the raids, along with 3 Santa Ana City Council members and several members of the Santa Ana Unified School District Board.
It's been a busy couple of days, several
to say
days,
the least,
you know,
for sure.
And here we are. It's Tuesday.
It feels later than that in the week, for sure.
Yeah, I know we've been having incredible team coverage here at Good Day LA and Fox, so we'll continue to follow all that.
Here, let me open that for you.
Let me put a pause on that right there. So it's yeah, I've seen something where, and I'm going off of the last thing they said there, where they had some construction sites raid, and man, that's crazy, right? Because I live in New York City, and I know that a lot of times, to have these buildings go up, they'll have to go ahead and have people that from different places, especially like places like Mexico, those workers, a lot of construction workers, they'll work on it, man. This halts a lot of stuff, and that goes for crops and stuff like this, right? Like a lot of farms are actually in a situation where they can't harvest a lot of the stuff because a lot of the workers there are gone. And believe it or not, a lot of those people voted for Trump. Again, I'm not for or against Trump. But it's just very counterintuitive to go ahead and vote for something that's gonna kill your livelihood. It always shocks me and how people think. But here's another here's another video I got for y'all. And this one here is for this one here is the one I was speaking about. This one here is where the construction site was actually raided.
In one of the largest worksite immigration enforcement operations seen in Florida in recent years, federal agents descended on construction sites in Wildwood, part of the sprawling Villages community, resulting in dozens of arrests and sparking new conversations about labor, legality, and law enforcement practices. This video takes a deep dive into what happened during the raid, who was targeted, what the law says, and the larger implications for immigrant labor, housing, and security in the U.S. On Tuesday, Homeland Security Investigations (HSI) agents launched a major worksite enforcement action in Wildwood, Florida, targeting unauthorized workers at residential construction sites in the Villages, one of the largest master-planned retirement communities in the U.S. Agents arrived in unmarked vehicles, many wearing tactical gear and masks. Their goal, to identify and detain individuals working without valid immigration documentation. Out of 361 workers approached, 33 were arrested on immigration violations. Among them, at least 4 had previously been deported, but had re-entered the country unlawfully, a federal felony under U.S. law. According to ICE, the operation was launched in response to numerous community tips about companies allegedly hiring unauthorized labor. Officials say this wasn't a random raid. Over time, local residents and whistleblowers contacted tip lines, citing potential violations at construction sites. Investigators followed up, gathering company names and license plates to build cases. The goal, ICE said, was to crack down on companies suspected of knowingly hiring undocumented workers, a federal offense that not only violates labor laws, but can, in some cases, be tied to human trafficking networks and wage exploitation schemes. One ICE spokesperson emphasized that such raids often uncover more than just immigration violations. They frequently reveal unsafe labor practices, underpayment, and coercion, especially when employers exploit workers who fear deportation. As soon as word spread that ICE agents were on the move, chaos erupted at multiple job sites.
I mean, there's certain things that said in there that you have to look at as well. You know, unfair wages, human trafficking. We don't want that, right? Well, what else is said in there? I mean, they did check. Oh yeah, unsafe work environment. I'm all for all that. I'm all for all that. Listen, don't traffic people. Don't don't have people working in unsafe environments, and of course, get people paid what they're supposed to be paid. But is that true? Is that true though? I mean, hey, let's be real right now. Is all of this raid that y'all going through with construction site, is that true? The way how they going about it so aggressive makes me worried, man. The government is oh my God. Is this true? Because I've heard a story where they actually have prison camps built already for these people, and they're gonna have them in there. And basically, these these new prisons are given grants and stuff by the government to build them, to build the prisons. And you know, you have people in there now. You got to figure out where they gotta go. It's just, what is it? 11 million immigrants, illegal immigrants, supposedly they're supposed to send back. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true. But anyway, I think I'm gonna end the video here. There's so much more. There's a lot of videos online of people just of situations. The LA riot slash, or better yet, let me put it this way: the LA protests slash riots. It's heating up, and I hope it doesn't turn into anything more than just overthinking stuff, which I think is probably gonna turn into more. You know, again, I saw that movie Civil War last summer, and that movie was out of this world. It is basically this right here, where you have California and Texas want to separate themselves, annex themselves from the United States, and then form their own government, and then from there it gets crazy, you know. I hope that does not happen. I hope we can figure this out. Man, let these people, if these people are here to work, man, let them work, man. There's a lot of people here that can do good. You know, I go for humanity, and humanity says if we're human, if we really do care about each other, you know, don't just toss people in prisons. I'm talking about the people that want to work and the people that want to go ahead and contribute to, the United States, because they pay a lot of tax dollars, man. These people pay a lot of tax dollars. A lot of them don't even go to doctors because they're scared, and they still pay. They'll pay if they pay their wage, man. If they're willing to pay their wage, I see that they're even getting people that's checking in. There's some people that's on their way to like legal, to becoming legal, and they'll, when they check in with places like courts and stuff like this, they'll arrest them there, and they've done nothing wrong. But anyway, it's 30 minutes now. Done a lot. Thank you all for tuning in. I catch y'all. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Comment and follow, man. Come on. Subscribe. Like the video. Peace.